my roommate who I live with off campus came running down my room and said, "We've got to go to Deke, something's happened in Cortland." We walked out from the basketball court to the front and we saw 2 police officers standing there, along with our house mom, Meg, and a few other Dekes who had just gotten there, and they were all in tears, just completely bawling. You know, we didn't really know what had happened. Maybe he had just been injured, but when we saw, you know, a bunch of 19, 20-year-old guys crying in public out on the front patio of Deke, we kind of knew at that point and we didn't really need to be told. There have been so many things that were thrown around. Honestly, I don't think I could hope to ever know what happened, and I might actually be fine with that. You know, I don't want to remember Cortland by what happened that night, whatever it was. I just want to remember him as being my best friend and a great friend to all of us in the house. We wanted some way to remember Cortland's life and to honor his service that he performed all throughout his life. And so one organization that we knew Cortland had worked with numerous times throughout his years at UNC was Habitat. You know, I was actually a philanthropy chair at the time, so I was in charge of getting in contact with Habitat and setting this up. And I was in way over my head, and they told us that, you know, we need to raise a minimum of $35,000 to build the house, but the total cost would be $75,000. And me being pretty naive and maybe a little overambitious, I said that sure, we do the $75,000. That's not a problem. We can definitely handle that. And we got there, and I was completely shocked when we did, but it all came together little by little. You know, I feel like being a Deke, especially Deke president, I feel like that's kind of my scarlet letter, and I've got to carry that around. You know, when I tell people that I'm the Deke president, I think automatically they think back to what happened this past fall. And so my responsibility for the coming year is to make sure that people realize that we're not defined by a couple of incidences.
I was going to post that. Dude, you're such a fun.
I consider myself a university student, University of North Carolina student first and foremost. And I love being in a fraternity, but I think we've been separated from the university this year just because they've kind of taken an antagonistic role. The perception of fraternities and the Greek system in general is a lot worse than reality, but at the same time, to outsiders, perception can become reality, and that's something we need to address.
You gotta stand there the whole time.
Things I've heard are drunk, rich, white assholes. I just think we're all completely different people. Like I said, I don't think you can stereotype Deke or any fraternity into being just this one type of person. I don't feel like there's any pressure to be a certain type of person like maybe outsiders might think. In the end, it just comes down to who you feel comfortable with. And for me, that was Deke.